body's natural response to any demand or challenge that disrupts its balance, triggering physical, emotional, and mental tension. Now, what happens to our body when we have stress, and how can unmanaged stress hurt us? Our cortisol increases, blood sugar rises, and that can cause diabetes. Heart rate increases, blood pressure increases. We know that that's horrible for our heart. Metabolism slows, so we could gain weight. Sleep is disturbed, lowering, and our immune system can be lowered. So how can breathing interrupt the stress cycle? Breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which slows the heart rate, lowers the blood pressure, and signals the body to relax, counteracting the fight or flight response triggered by stress. Who's heard of fight or flight? Did y'all know that there's other things now that we say in the trauma-informed world? We say fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. The fawn was the newest one that I knew. So if you think about your stressful situation, some people just freeze. I'm a freezer. And like fight or flight, like I didn't relate to that. Then when I heard freeze, sometimes I can't move. I have a hard time with decisions. And fawn is like, we think about that in the trauma world as maybe you're, like especially in domestic violence, you fawn over the abuser and you try to appease them and make them happy. So those are the 4 things that can happen when we're stressed. So I want to tell you a little story about something that happened to me during COVID. I got my yoga teacher training, so I was doing a lot of breath work. And they were teaching us all the techniques that some I'm going to teach you today. I woke up in the middle of the night, heart was racing. I wear this Fitbit, so I like to track my sleep. So I sat there, I did meditation and 5 easy steps with 10 deep breaths, and then I was able to relax and go back to sleep. In the morning, I checked my app to see how many hours I slept, and I saw my heart rate. It had spiked in the middle of the night, but it lowered, and I saw that it didn't stay spiked just because I did that breath work, and then it lowered. So that's my story. Does anybody want to have a story of how they conquered a stressful situation?
I was going to take the mic and walk around.
Okay, thank you. Some breathing techniques. We're going to talk about diaphragmatic breathing, 4-4 balanced breath, ocean breathing, otherwise in the Sanskrit world called Ujjayi breath, and 4-7-8 breath. If we have extra time, we'll do one of my favorites, alternate nostril breathing. So when we do diaphragmatic breathing is the foundation for all the breath work. So what we do is, it's also called belly breathing. So what we'll do is, on the inhale, the belly's going to expand. And we don't always think about breathing with the belly expand. We think about the chest expanding. But no, we want this diaphragm to move. So on the inhale, the diaphragm is located underneath the ribs above the abdomen, and it's like a dome. So when you inhale and the belly expands, the diaphragm gets pressed down, and then our lungs expand and we can get more rich oxygen. So what we're gonna do, I'll tell you what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna do it. So we'll have one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. We're only gonna breathe through the nose. We're gonna inhale through the nose, and the belly's gonna expand. Exhale through the nose, the belly contracts, the belly button goes towards the spine, we relax our shoulders, and the whole body releases. So let's do this 4 times. So let's inhale through the nose, the belly expands, chest is not moving. Exhale, the belly contracts and falls. Inhale. Exhale, let those shoulders relax.
Inhale, think about the spine growing tall. Exhale, relax. One last inhale. Last exhale through the nose. Now this is our foundational breathing. Why does this matter? It increases the oxygen intake. As that air reaches our lower lungs, that's where the oxygen is working and the oxygen exchange is more efficient. Alrighty, the next one is one of my favorites. It's the 4-4 balance breathing. And so I'll tell you what we're gonna do, and then we'll do it. So we're gonna inhale, slow, we're gonna bring these, and these are just like, you know, like children use the little cubes in math, the manipulative, the hands on the belly, feeling that belly increase, and the other hand on the heart, making sure the chest is still, it's just a manipulative to help you as you're beginning. If you're at home on your yoga mat, it's really nice to feel that belly expand upward. So I'll say the belly expands and the hand rises. So now our hand just comes out. And so for our inhalation, I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 4. And we can do this any place, anytime, in your meeting at work, in your meeting, your link meeting in the conference room, when you're hungry and we're past time. So let's inhale, breathing in the nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, the belly rises, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, let the body soften, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3. Ocean breathing, we call it Ujjayi breath. Anybody want to say that with me? Ujjayi breath. That's Sanskrit. So who's heard of the parasympathetic system? A few? And has anybody heard of the vagus nerve? Yes. Yeah, the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in our body. It comes from the back of our brain all the way down our spine, and so it activates lots of things. It can constrict the pupil, it stimulates saliva, it controls the bronchi in our lungs, it slows the heartbeat when that vagus nerve is activated. It also works in our reproductive organs. So the Ujjayi breath helps stimulate and reset the parasympathetic system. So the Ujjayi breath, I'll tell you what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna do it, okay? So we'll still do that nose breathing, in and out through the nose. But on the exhale, we're gonna open up the back of the throat when we breathe. So take your hand out like it's a mirror. We're looking in that mirror, seeing how beautiful we are. And let's exhale and fog up that mirror. Try it again. So do you see how the back of the throat is open? Now, close the mouth and exhale through the nose and see if you can get the back of that throat open. And so, do you hear how it makes a noise? Kind of sounding like an ocean, or sometimes people will call it the Darth Vader breath, because it sounds like that. So that's really gonna activate our breath. So we're gonna build on to our breathing, okay? So remember, we're sitting in our chair. It's nice to have the feet flat on the ground. The head is reaching up toward the ceiling. Relax those shoulders. If you want, you can even close your eyes or just maybe unfocus the eyes. So let's inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, constrict the throat, do the Ujjayi breath. Inhale through the nose, fill the belly. Exhale through the nose, open up the back of the throat. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. All right, let's come back to our natural breath.